Hi everyone and welcome to our first series of tutorials transitioning from SOLIDWORKS into Fusion 360. In this series, we will be referencing SOLIDWORKS Model Mania. And today, we are going to take up the challenge of Model Mania Year 2000. Let's get started. I'm going to head up and select this plus button to create a new design. Inspecting the 2D drawing, I would like to start off focusing on our view, which is section A-A. Let's now enter sketch mode. And because my intent here is to first create a line without heading up and selecting create sketch from our toolbar, I'm going to hit L on my keyboard to activate our line command. Next, I prefer sketching on our YZ plane, so selecting this plane, left click here. With line tool active, I'm going to left click somewhere here. Let me move up. In addition, we can create an arc within the line command. So without the left clicking for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click and hold. Once more, left click and hold. I'm still holding my left mouse button. And notice here I have created an arc within the line command. I'm going to release, move down, left click once more, and head over to the endpoint of this line to close this, making this as a profile. Next, let's check our constraints. I'm going to hit escape. And with this line selected, I'm going to head up to our constraints and make this perfectly horizontal. Notice the line now has a horizontal constraint icon. Moving forward, I would like this horizontal line and its midpoint coincident to our origin, and without heading up to our constraints panel, I'm going to select this horizontal line, left click, hold Control and select our origin. With both of these entities selected, I'm going to right click and automatically Fusion 360 will suggest the possible constraints that can be applied. In this instance, our intent is to select midpoint. Next, I'm going to create a line hitting L. Let's create a line from our origin all the way up to the midpoint of this arc. Hitting escape, my intent here is to revolve this other half. Let's now add dimensions. Hitting D for dimension. I'm going to select this origin and our endpoint or midpoint. Moving to the right, left click here. And notice I am in the unit of millimeters and I prefer using inches instead. What I'm going to do is key in 3.35 and type in IN for inch. And because I will be using inches all the way, I'm going to head up to Document Settings and select Change Active Units. For unit type, selecting inch. Selecting OK. Let's grab our dimension once more, selecting this vertical line and this vertical line. Let's place our dimension here, left click, key in 2.7, hitting enter, and just a personal preference, I prefer having the feature here as well. So I'm going to hit R for rectangle. Let me zoom in. I'm going to place my first corner on this intersection. I'm going to key in 0.25, hitting enter. and move this to the right. Hitting D for dimension once more. Selecting this horizontal line and our origin. Moving to the right. Keying in 0.25. And finally, let me define that a 3.75 diameter. What I'm going to do is select this vertical line and this vertical line, move over here. I'm going to right click and enable diameter dimension. So notice here, this is now defined as a diameter dimension. I'm going to left click over here, key in 3.75. Hitting escape. Notice a while ago, the sketch entities were in the color of blue and now they are all in black. This is a visual cue that our sketch is fully defined. And notice here, I cannot move any of these entities anymore. From here, I can now select Finish Sketch. And instead of heading up to our toolbar to select Revolve, I'm going to hit S for Design Shortcuts. And under the search field, I'm going to type RE. Notice here at the bottom, I can now select Revolve. Prompted to select a profile, selecting the other half. Let's define the axis. Left click here and select this vertical line. The angle to be 360 degrees and operation to be new body. Selecting OK. Notice in the 2D drawing, this body is a hollow feature with a thickness of 0.25. Let's now grab our shell command, hitting S once more for design shortcuts, typing SH, and selecting shell. I'm going to exclude this bottom face, so I'm going to select this, and for the inside thickness, keying in 0.25. Direction to be inside, selecting OK. Moving forward, let's create the feature around this body. And recall we have created that a while ago on our first sketch. Let me head to our sketches folder. Turn on the visibility of sketch 1. Hit S for design shortcuts and typing REV and select Revolve. For profile, selecting this rectangular profile, activating our axis and selecting this vertical line or our Z-axis. Operation to be joined, and let's select OK. Let's now turn off the visibility of sketch 1. Moving forward, let's create the feature here. And to create the sketch for that, I will be creating another construction plane with a distance of 2.75. Let's now head to Construct, selecting Offset Plane. Let's select our XZ plane, left click, moving this arrow to the left and key in negative 2.75. Hitting enter. Let's select our newly created construction plane. Right click and select Create Sketch. And to remove distraction, I'm going to turn off the visibility of these bodies by heading to Bodies folder and selecting this eyeball. I'm going to hit C for circle and create 3 circles. First one will be having a diameter of 0.75. Right click and let's repeat center diameter circle, creating another circle here and another circle here. Hitting escape, let me define the diameter of this circle. This one to be 0.38. Hitting escape, selecting this circle and this circle, holding control. With both of them selected, I'm going to right click and select equal. Let's grab our line tool. Once more, I'm going to create an arc as well. So I'm going to left click and hold to create an arc, release. Left click and hold to create an arc, release. Left click and hold to create an arc, release. Left click and hold and connect this to this end point, release. Let me zoom in and hit escape. From here, we are going to add constraints. First one, which is obvious, this arc and this line, selecting them both. Right click, selecting tangent. With a tangent constraint active, let's select this arc and this line as well. This line and this arc and this line. Hitting escape. Let's now select this arc and this circle. Right click and select concentric. With concentric active, selecting this arc and this circle, this arc and this circle, this arc and this circle. Next, let's select equal, making this arc and this arc, both of them selected. Right click, making them both equal, and with equal constraint active, selecting this arc and this arc. Next, let's align their center points vertically. So I'm going to select horizontal vertical, selecting this center point and this center point, this center point and this center point. In addition, I am seeing the center point of this circle should be at the middle in between these two center points. So I'm going to hit L for line. Let's create a line from this center point to this center point. Hitting escape, reselecting this line, and under sketch palette, making this as a construction line. Next, with this line selected and the center point of our circle, I'm going to right click and select midpoint. And from here, we can now grab our dimension, select this arc, key in 0.38 for its radius. Zooming in here, let's define this arc to be 0.61. And finally, define the distance between these two center points to be 1.5. Hitting enter. Let's now turn on the visibility of our body. Turn on the visibility of sketch 1. My intent here is to have this end point and the midpoint of our arc coincident with each other. So I'm going to hit P for project. Under specified entities for selection filter, I'm going to project this end point Selecting OK. Let's head over to front view. Grab our coincident constraint. Hold Shift to locate its midpoint and select our projected endpoint. It now turned into black, meaning it's fully defined. Selecting Escape, selecting Finish Sketch. And let's turn off the visibility of Sketch 1. With this point coincident to the endpoint of Sketch 1, what will happen here is whenever the height of this dome increases or decreases, our sketch or this point and the feature will always follow that height. Let's now hit E for Extrude. And I'm going to create a window selection to select all of these profiles. And for extent, I'm going to change this to object. For object, I'm going to head over to our bodies, selecting body 1. Let's inspect. Making sure solution is minimum solution, operation join, and selecting OK. Looking nice. Let's now add holes on this face. But first, I'm going to turn on the visibility of Sketch 2. Let me zoom in. Hit H for hole. And for the placement, let's select from Sketch, multiple holes, selecting this sketch point, holding Control, and selecting this sketch point. For the drill point, let me select flat, hold Tab type to be simple, hold type to be simple. Let's flip the direction. And for the depth, I'm going to key in 1. And for the diameter of the hole, I'm going to head back to the sketch and locate and identify its parameter. So I'm going to hit OK for now. Head over to our Sketch 2, right-click and select Edit Sketch. My intent here is to identify the dimension ID of 0.38. So hovering over here, notice it's D11. And with that in mind, I'm going to select Finish Sketch once more. Double left click, hold 1 to edit this feature. And for the diameter, I'm going to type D11. So with that in mind, whenever the diameter of this sketch updates, our diameter for this hole will also update as well. Selecting OK. Let's create this hole as well. And this time, just a personal preference, I'm going to extrude this. Selecting E for Extrude. Selecting this profile. And under Extent, selecting to Object. And for that object, let's select this inner face. Left click. And for chain faces, let's select chain faces, operation cut, and let's select OK. Looking nice. Let me turn off the visibility of Sketch 2. Next, let's create the feature here. To do that, I'm going to hit S once more for design shortcuts, typing CIR and selecting circular pattern. For the pattern type, we are going to select features, and that features will be our extrude, hole, and extrude 1. Once more, 3 objects or features selected, activating axis, selecting Z axis, and to select that one, I'm going to left click and hold, and this drop down will appear. From here, I can select Z. For the quantity, selecting 2, and for the type, we're going to select angle. Let's rotate this and key in 45 to be exact. Compute option will be adjust and selecting OK. Let's inspect. Hole was retained. Moving forward, let's create this sketch and this feature. To create that sketch, we need another construction plane. So let's head up to construct and select plane at angle. And for the line, let's select our Z axis, selecting this rotate handle, and let's key in 45. Heading to top view, inspecting, selecting OK. Let's select our newly created construction plane. Right click and select create sketch. Let's zoom in and let's slice our model. In addition, let me turn on the visibility of sketch 1. And I'm going to hit P for project. I'm going to project this vertical line. Left click, selecting OK. Heading back to our previous view and selecting look at. Let's grab our line and drop our first point at this intersection. Left click here, moving to the left, double left click, selecting this end point, left click, moving to the left, double left click. Next, I'm going to add dimensions, hitting D, selecting this line and this horizontal line. I'm going to key in 6 degrees. Next, let's define this point, selecting this origin, moving to the right, the value to be 2.35. And take note on the 2D drawing, this one was missing. This dimension to be this point and this point, defining their horizontal dimension. The value here, take note, this was missing in the 2D drawing to be 2.4. Hitting enter and hitting escape. And just for personal preference, I'm going to turn this horizontal line into a construction line. The shortcut key to be letter X on my keyboard. Let me move this here. And finally, selecting Finish Sketch. Let's turn off the visibility of Sketch 1. And I'm going to select this line, head to Construct, and select Plane Along Path. I'm going to move this arrow, and to be exact, I'm going to key in 1, hitting tab, and hit OK. Next, let's select our plane 3. And with this selected, I'm going to hit C for circle. And drop the center point of the circle at this end point. For the diameter, I'm going to key in 1.2. Hitting enter. Selecting look at. Let's move this dimension over here. Selecting finish sketch. Let's extrude this circle. Hitting E for extrude. Moving this arrow to the right. And for extent, selecting to object. I'm going to select body 1. Solution to be minimum. Operation join, and selecting OK. Let's inspect. Looking nice. And let's now turn off the visibility of sketch 3. Let's add the hole on this face. Hitting H for hole. And selecting this face. Zooming in, I'm going to grab this blue dot and place this on this white dot. So notice it snaps. For the hole type, it will be simple. Hole tap type, simple. Drill point to be flat. For the diameter, it will be 0.82. And for the depth, I'm going to select this drop down and select 2. And for extents, selecting 2 as well. And from here, let's now select this face. Take note, operation to be cut, and let's select OK. Inspecting. Heading to home view. I can hit Control 7 to have a wireframe view. Hitting Control 6 to revert back. And from here, we can now add fillets. Selecting this edge, this edge, this edges. And for the value, I'm going to key in 0.188. Inspecting and selecting OK. And for the last part, let's change the dimensions of this model to check. Let me head to sketch 1, double left click. Let's change this to 4.5. Selecting finish sketch. Let's head over to sketch 3, double left click to edit this. Changing this to 3.5. Selecting finish sketch, and I forgot to change this diameter to 3.4. Selecting finish sketch. It all updated without an error. Congratulations, and that's SOLIDWORKS Model Mania Year 2000 in Fusion 360.